record and invalidate the trustee set. So that's something that would have to be disposed of prior to them. You know, that's something that you need to think about if you're about to purchase an REO. Multiple deeds of trust. You know, one of the most common mistakes is people, think they're getting a killer deal on a property on the Strand, but they're buying a third deed of trust. You need to know what position the deed of trust is you're about to buy at an auction. And some of the documents I'm going to show you that will help you do that. I'll show you where the instrument number is located, and I'll help you be able to zero in. Especially if there's multiple deeds of trust and multiple foreclosures happening at the same time, it can get kind of confusing. So you need to know what you're buying.
And if I can jump in real quick,
sure.
We've actually got a situation. Beverly's great, been with me forever, knows it. When you've got problem properties, let her know for two reasons. One, on going back to the lien situation. You want us to, when we do a normal property search, we just look at anything that's posted against the property. Trust deeds, if it's a tax lien, it goes directly against the property. Mechanics lien, directly against the property. What we will also do is run, when we know you're dealing with the distressed property, is what we call a general index search. And that's where you're going to pop up your judgments, your IRS liens, your state tax liens, things like that. Which those are going to be issues if you're trying to buy something at auction. You're going to have to either get those released or sit there and wait out that 120-day period. The other thing is the multiple deeds of trust. Common sense would always tell you if you have $1 million trust deed and you have $1.2 million, that the $1 million is sitting, junior to the $1.2 million. That always, but I'm telling you, you need to look at those carefully. Have Beverly look at the documents. Have me look at them. We have a situation right now where I had a seller who did a carryback, and he did a large carryback, but he thought he was going to be in first position, and it got flipped and got put into second position. And it clearly on the deeds of trust, even though in his mind he signed it, that his was second to be secondary financing, that the smaller amount was to be first position. And consequently, we're in a lawsuit on it right now. So, I mean, you got to be careful. You can't just assume the highest dollar amount is automatically a first, and so on and so forth.
We're also starting to see more all-inclusive deeds of trust, AITDs, which aren't as complicated as you may think, but it's been a long time since we've all had to deal with those. And they're starting to come back now, too. Yes, sir?
Aren't you going to teach us how to get a title policy so at least we know these things?
A title policy? Oh, definitely. That's what we do. We sell you title policies.
Well, it's all leading up to that, isn't it?
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we are.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
So
whenever I see a real good
you're telling
claim,
us what to be fearful of,
Yeah.
but you're going to give us a solution.
That's right, and we are the solution. Absolutely right. Even when we're wrong, we're the solution. We'll pay. Okay, we'll pay it out. How we do it? How do we look at these properties? Okay, anybody can go down to the county and they can, look up a property. They do it by name at the county register recorder's office. It's a grantor-grantee index. What title companies do is we are part owners of what they call a title plant. And what a title plant does is every document that's recorded in LA County or whatever county that we are participating in, it's indexed for our recall, via our computer system. So instead of doing a name grantor-grantee run, we can put in a property address. And with that, we can click another button, it'll run the property chain for us. Click another button, it'll run the general index for us. So that's how we do it. We streamline it. Of course, that costs us, quite a bit of money to maintain something like that, but that's what we do. And for all of you, you can call Greg, and Greg and his people can do that for you. You have to go down to the county. Okay, now I'm just going to get into my document samples for you. No more scare tactics or anything like that. I'm going to get into the actual mechanics of each document that's recorded. And notice the default, the things I always look at on this is the trustee sale number. That's very important when you're trying to monitor a trustee sale and you want to obtain information on that. Most of the trustees either have websites or they have automated phone systems where you call and they're going to ask you to input the trustee sale number or the TS number. And they all have lengthy explanations. At the end of the explanation, they'll usually say, if you don't want to hear this, you can press pound or whatever, which, hopefully you can remember that for next time. It'll tell you the amount that's delinquent and the date that it became delinquent. And with that information, you can kind of determine where the amount's going, how far it's gone up, how far it's going to be by the time it goes to sale. The contact information usually tells you that trustee's address, phone number. Yes, sir.
And you need to say why that's important.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
You're the star pupil this morning.
I'm not trying to be.
And the deed of trust information, it's going to also tell you that. And I'm going to tell you everything right now as far as why that's important. The trustee sale number, I put that in the yellow box. That's how the trustee, which conducts the trustee sale, indexes this particular property in this sale. So whenever you're talking to the trustee via the automated phone, website, I actually called the trustee the other day and a human being answered the phone, which really surprised me. Very helpful, and they gave me the information I needed. And they're not going to tell you that much. They're going to let you know that it's scheduled for a sale, and they'll tell you the date and time that it's scheduled for sale, or they'll tell you that it's postponed, and they'll usually give you the reason for that. Right here in the red box, I circled the amount, $20,624.97 as of November 18th of 08. And I wish I would have remembered to put the actual date this notice of default was recorded, and kind of get an idea, if this notice of default was reported in December, it's already 2 more months delinquent, as opposed to the date they put on there. Down here in the blue box, this is that all-important contact information. It's the address of the trustee, the name of the trustee, and their phone number. The next page of this document, it gives you the information on the deed of trust that's in default. There again, if you have a property with multiple deeds of trust, if this is the only default, it's going to be fairly easy to determine which document or which position of deed of trust is going into foreclosure. You need to pay attention to this instrument number, especially if it's a first and second, piggyback loan. Because if this is a second deed of trust, that means the first deed of trust is going to be instrument number 961. So if you have a couple notice of defaults in the chain of title, a couple notice of trustee sales, it sometimes gets confusing which loan is actually going to sale first.
So how do you tell if it's
with the instrument number. After you do your research and you know how many deeds of trust are against the property, the notice of default will show this is the document that's going into foreclosure. And with the instrument number, you can determine whether it's first or second.
When you order the profile, we'll give you all open trust deeds, and then we'll give you the NODs, so you'll be able to match up that instrument number with the actual trust deeds.
Okay.
So you get them all from us, so you know exactly which you're dealing with, first or second.
And here again on the second page, it also reiterated that trustee sale.
But there's no way to look at that number, as a layman and say, okay, that's the first trustee.
No,
You
because
have
they
to
all look the
match
same.
it.
Exactly, you have to match it. And it also, I didn't circle the box, but this one also tells you the original principal sum of the note that is in default. The notice of trustee sale, again, it's going to have the TS number. It's going to have a little disclosure about the starting bid. It's going to also give you the deed of trust information. Every one of these default documents is always going to give you the information on the deed of trust that's in default. The trustee contact number or information will be there. And then they are also adding the civil code compliance. 2923.5 is the extra notices that they have to give while they're doing these foreclosures.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir.
I've found that when I've called for information, it's the most difficult part is finding out what that opening bid is.
Definitely.
So how do we get it?
Sometimes you have to actually go to the sale to find out what it is.
Or literally you have to wait till, like at 4 o'clock the day before the sale. They do make it tough.
Okay, here again, the notice of trustee sale, the last document that's recorded before the sale happens. There's the TS number here at the top in the red box. And I circled this little beneficiary clause here in yellow. It's a situation that Greg brought up earlier about there's a couple properties here in the South Bay. One of them went back to the bank because there's no bids. The other one, the starting bid was, I think, a couple $100,000 less than what was owed on the property. And that's at the discretion of the bank where they want to set that opening bid. And again, that may not happen until right before the sale happens. And they have various reasons why they do that. They may just want to get the loan off their books before the end of the year. Just may be that simple of a situation. Here in the blue box is the original information on the deed of trust.